This is our medical dispenser. It's a little bit big in size, but that's because of mechanical limitations. So basically, you have your on-off switch here, it'll power up, and all of it starts off at 12 o'clock at midnight, and then you can set your clock with the hour and minute pin. You can set your different minutes. And so there's different modes you can cycle through. You have your clock mode, and your T1, you cycle through T1, T2, T3, T4. Each of those you can set as on or off. Those are distribution times. Does that make sense? So you can set each of these individually as on or off, and you can set the time. And once the clock hits that time, it will automatically dispense pills. So we can set it for. Set it so we can set it off at 12 o'clock or 12 at 5, 12:15 I guess. So right now it's 12, it says it's 12 o'clock, so we can set it for, so we'll set it for 12:14, so then we can set it to distribute at 12:15. So you have the times jump at 15 minutes when you're setting the distribution times, because normally that's when you're going to be taking pills. So this one we're going to set the first time as we can set it on, and then we can set it for 12:30. So we can cycle through the different other times. And then we have D1 and D2. There's two different types of pills in here. Or there can be two different types of pills. We just have the same type. Let's get this. And then you can set how many doses you want. So for each time, you can set up to 6 pills to come out. Does that make sense? For each dose. So this one we can set for, we'll turn it on, and then we'll say 3 pills for pill 1. And we'll set the other one on, we'll say 2 pills. And then at 12:30.
Okay, Stephen, I think we're getting lost with all of those setting modes. So let's try to put it into action.
Okay, yeah, it's
do you mind if we open it up and look at it? What's going on the inside here?
Basically, these are the bulk storing system. And that way you can just dump a bunch of pills in there. That one has a little bit of an error. That one. Sometimes we've been having some trouble with the motor shield, and you push the reset button, that turns off the alarm. We've been having trouble with the motor shield. Sometimes it's with the analog pin. Sometimes it's outputting high voltage. We never managed to fully debug that, but this one obviously worked pretty well. And this one it just applied a full voltage to that instead of the.
Can you run the same thing again? So if you wanted to deposit 5.
Okay.
What happens when you run out?
Then it's just gonna keep going. We didn't really get that debugged in the program.
So you don't track it.
We didn't get that.
Well.
So was it able to count it when 2 of the pills went at basically the same time, or would that be an error?
We have IR sensors here, so basically whenever that beam is broken, it'll basically count as one. And if it runs at the set speed that we have, it's enough to just drop about 1 pill every 1 or 2 seconds if they get lined up.
We tried to use a system that would actually not be shape specific, so it'd be universal for any type of pill size. You know, a beam broken is going to be whether it's a small pill, long pill, a round pill, anything at all. You know, work essentially the same way. It won't be limited by the shape of the pill.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, ultimately this is more for the elderly. I mean, you have the alarms that let you know that it's time for you to take your pills. It would have to be scaled down a little bit, but that's kind of a lot of it's due to mechanical just creating it. Obviously, we have these phones right here. That's to help kind of keep the pills from getting shot out everywhere. Like those could be reduced in size, and then the plates obviously could be reduced in size as well. So there's a fair amount of scaling you can do, but it's basically for demonstration purposes that the concept works.
Right now, this clock is an actual clock, or is it just like it's running off of your microcontroller?
Well, it's a clock based on the microcontroller. I mean, the microcontroller.
So, like, you know, so 1 minute is really 1 minute, or it's like how many cycles of that?
Well, we're basically it's 1 minute. Right now, we have it scaled just for demonstration purposes. For basically, it's counting every half second as a second. So basically, for every minute, life, you're getting 2 minutes on this. Basically, just to speed up the process, to speed this clock.
We did that so that when people wanted to see it demonstrated, they wouldn't have to wait as long. But I mean, essentially we basically really coded the break on purpose.
Alright, so can you make it go like dispense and then within a minute dispense again?
Well, not within a minute because the way we programmed it so that people wouldn't want to take their pills at 12:23 p.m. They would probably be taking it at 12 or 12:15. We did it in 15-minute intervals per time that they can actually program because, I mean, essentially, if you get up in the morning, you're not these are times they'd have preset for every day, right? At least that's the idea that we were doing. Because they're not going to want to have to program this every day. They just have it arranged where they take it at the same time.
Okay, but for demo purposes, what is the fastest increment you can?
We can do 215. I mean, we can change the clock to basically make it display. I mean, to make it dispense twice an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just
But,
curious. So fine. It seems like it works relatively okay for one time. What happens the second time, third time?
Okay, so right now, basically, I have it set for 12:45 and 12:45 and 1 o'clock. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make it go to 12:44. When it hits the minute mark, it'll activate, and I'll just.
Still be 7.5 minutes before.
We can change the actual clock, so we can just skip those minutes. Sometimes I think it's a connection issues with and basically the switches that we have. Sometimes it'll jump two minutes, so some more debugging there. So right now it's going to be 1 o'clock and 1:15. They're going to be doing 2 pills each. I mean, it's hard to tell because sometimes when you push it once, it's actually incrementing the clock and you push it back. So I'm a little bit of a risk of that happening. It's just kind of a waiting game now.
So can you change the clock while it's?
I believe so. I mean, we can try. Well, actually, the program in the map race. And it should and like I said, we're having some issues with that one. And you said I was actually supposed to do 2. So I mean, it may just be with the sensor. We can move the sensor up a little bit. That's just stability issues. Yeah.